Welcome to another episode of English Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Danny, and today we're embarking on an astronomical adventure to explore our very own star, the Sun. Now, don't worry, we won't need any special spacesuits for this journey, just an open mind and perhaps a pair of sunglasses. The Sun, a seemingly ordinary star, is actually the heart of our solar system. And without it, well, we wouldn't be here. It's like the ultimate cosmic campfire, except you can't roast marshmallows on it, too hot and a bit too far away. So what exactly is the Sun? At its core, the Sun is a massive glowing sphere of hot plasma powered by nuclear fusion. Think of it as a giant nuclear reactor, but without the need for safety protocols. Its fusion process converts hydrogen into helium, releasing an immense amount of energy. The energy is what makes life on Earth possible. The Sun provides the light and warmth that drive our weather systems, seasons, and ultimately supports all life forms. Now let's talk about the Sun's structure. It's not just a fiery ball, it's layered like a cosmic onion. The innermost layer is the core, where the magic of nuclear fusion happens. Surrounding the core is the radiative zone, where energy travels outward. Then comes the convective zone, where hot plasma rises and cools, creating solar phenomena like sunspots and solar flares. Imagine boiling water in a pot, but on a much larger scale. Speaking of solar flares, these are explosive events that can release as much energy as 1 billion megatons of TNT. These flares can affect Earth, disrupting satellites, communications, and even causing beautiful auroras. It's like the Sun is throwing a cosmic tantrum, and we get front row seats to the light show. Now, the Sun's influence extends far beyond its surface, through the solar wind, a stream of charged particles. This solar wind creates the heliosphere, a vast bubble that shields our solar system from cosmic radiation. Think of it as a protective bubble wrap around our solar neighborhood. But the Sun is not just about science. It has been a source of inspiration and wonder throughout human history. Ancient civilizations worshipped the Sun, and it has been a muse for poets, artists, and philosophers. Its predictable rise and set frame our days, marking time in a way that's both practical and poetic. So, why should we care about the Sun? Well, understanding our star is crucial for several reasons. It helps us predict space weather, which can impact our technology-dependent society. It also offers clues about other stars and potentially habitable planets in our galaxy. Studying the Sun is like looking at a mirror, reflecting the processes that occur throughout the universe. But the Sun also serves as a reminder of our place in the cosmos. It's a symbol of the vastness and beauty of the universe and our connection to something much larger than ourselves. Every time you feel the warmth of the Sun on your skin, remember, you're experiencing a direct connection to the cosmos. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about how you can use this knowledge in your everyday life. Start by observing the Sun's impact on your surroundings. Notice how it affects the weather, the plants, and even your own mood. You can also share this newfound knowledge with friends and family, sparking conversations about the wonders of the universe. And that brings us to the end of our solar journey. But don't go anywhere, I'll be right back with our next segment, Word Power, where we'll dive into the key terms and phrases we discussed today. Stay tuned, and remember, keep looking up because you never know what wonders you might discover. Welcome back to English Plus Podcast. I'm Danny, and in this segment, we'll explore the key terms and phrases from our journey into the mysteries of the Sun. Let's dive into these words, understanding them both in the context of our cosmic neighbor and as standalone vocabulary for our English learning journey. Our first term is solar system, which refers to the sun and the celestial bodies gravitationally bound to it, like planets, moons, and asteroids. It's like a cosmic family with the sun as the head of the household. In a broader sense, solar system can be a useful term to describe any system with celestial bodies orbiting a star. Then we have the sun itself, not just any star, but our star. A giant sphere of hot plasma at the center of our solar system. The sun is the primary source of energy for Earth. It's akin to a colossal power plant fueling life and governing the rhythms of our world. Next up is stars, which are luminous spheres of plasma held together by their own gravity. In the grand tapestry of the universe, stars are the sparkling dots that light up the night sky. They are fundamental to understanding the cosmos and are often used metaphorically to signify hope or guidance. Then we have astronomy. Astronomy is the science that studies celestial objects and phenomena. It's like the alphabet of the universe, helping us read and understand the story of the cosmos. For English learners, astronomy is a window into a field rich with discoveries and wonders. Then we have space exploration. Space exploration is the ongoing discovery and exploration of celestial structures beyond Earth's atmosphere. It's mankind's grand adventure, taking us from the moon to Mars and beyond. In our daily vocabulary, it symbolizes the human quest for knowledge and the unknown. Then we have nuclear fusion. Nuclear fusion is a process where two lighter atomic nuclei combine to form a heavier nucleus, releasing energy. This is what powers the sun and other stars, a natural nuclear reactor in the heart of our solar neighborhood. It's a complex term, but essential for understanding how stars, including our sun, shine. Then we have sunspots. Sunspots are temporary phenomena on the sun's photosphere that appear as spots darker than the surrounding areas. They're like freckles on the sun's face, indicators of magnetic activity. Sunspots can be a fun term to remember, especially when imagining the sun's dynamic surface. Then we have solar flares. Solar flares are sudden flashes of increased brightness on the sun, often associated with magnetic storms. They are the sun's dramatic way of releasing energy, and in a way, they're like the solar system's natural fireworks. Then we have the heliosphere. The heliosphere is the vast bubble-like region of space dominated by the sun, extending far beyond the outer planets. It's our solar system's protective shield against cosmic radiation. In language learning, the heliosphere can represent the expansive influence of a central idea or entity. Lastly, we have cosmos, a term that refers to the universe regarded as an orderly, harmonious system. It's the grand stage upon which the drama of the universe unfolds, an endless frontier of mystery and beauty. Understanding these terms not only enriches our knowledge of astronomy but also enhances our English vocabulary. They represent the intersection of science and language, opening doors to fascinating conversations and insights. Now get ready to our next segment, Action Time, where we'll explore the action points or real-life applications of today's topic. Stay tuned to learn how you can apply your newfound knowledge of the sun and these key terms in everyday life. Let's turn our learning into action. Welcome back to the English Plus podcast, where we turn knowledge into action. I'm Danny, and in this segment, we're going to explore how you can apply the fascinating concepts about the sun and space in your daily life. So let's bring the cosmos down to Earth and find out how these celestial phenomena impact us in practical ways. First, consider the principle of nuclear fusion, the powerhouse behind the sun. While it might seem like a distant concept, its principles are inspiring the quest for clean, renewable energy here on Earth. Imagine a future where energy is as abundant and clean as the light from our sun. You can engage with this idea by staying informed about advancements in fusion technology, and who knows, maybe advocate for sustainable energy in your community. The study of sunspots and solar flares isn't just for astronomers. These solar activities can affect satellite communications and even power grids on Earth. A fun and practical activity could be tracking sunspots and solar flares using online resources. This not only enhances your understanding of the sun's behavior, but also connects you to the wider implications of space weather on our technological world. And now let's talk about the broader concept of the cosmos. Understanding our place in the universe can be both humbling and inspiring. You could start a stargazing habit, maybe even host a stargazing party. This not only deepens our appreciation for the night sky, but also offers a chance to share knowledge about stars and constellations, tying in what we've learned about astronomy. Then we have the heliosphere, our solar system's protective bubble. This is a reminder of the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. This awareness can foster a deeper respect for our environment and the forces that protect it. You might consider participating in environmental initiatives or simply practicing eco-friendly habits, recognizing our role in preserving this balance. On a more personal level, the sun's influence on our daily lives is profound. It regulates our circadian rhythms, impacts our mood, and provides essential vitamin D. A simple yet effective action point is to consciously spend time in sunlight, whether it's a morning walk or just basking in natural light during your daily activities. It's a small step towards wellness, both physical and mental. And there you have it, practical ways to connect the wonders of the sun and space to our daily lives. But our journey doesn't stop here. Next up, we have the Frequently Asked Questions segment, where we'll dive into the commonly asked questions about the sun and space. So stay with us as we answer those burning questions you might have about our fascinating universe. Welcome to the Frequently Asked Questions segment of the English Plus podcast. I'm your host Danny, and today we're going to address some intriguing questions that might have sparked in your mind after our exploration of the sun and space. Let's delve into these queries with detailed answers to deepen our understanding. One common question is, how does the sun's energy travel to Earth? The sun's energy travels through space in the form of electromagnetic radiation, which includes visible light, ultraviolet light, and infrared radiation. This journey takes about 8 minutes from the sun to Earth. It's like the sun sending a warm, energetic greeting card to us, and this energy plays a crucial role in driving Earth's climate and weather systems. Another curious mind might ask, can solar activity affect human health? Interestingly, solar activity, like intense solar flares, can have effects on human health, particularly for astronauts. High-energy particles from the sun can pose risks in space, which is why space missions are carefully planned. On Earth, the atmosphere and magnetic field protect us, but understanding solar activity is key to ensuring the safety of future space travelers. Is the sun the biggest star in the universe? Is another intriguing question. The sun, despite its immense importance to us, is actually a medium-sized star. There are many stars significantly larger and more luminous in the universe. The largest known stars are red supergiants, which can be over 1,000 times larger than our sun. The sun, in comparison, is like a modestly sized house in a neighborhood of grand mansions. People often wonder, will the sun burn out? Well, yes, but not anytime soon. The sun has a life cycle much like living organisms. It's currently in its main sequence phase, where it has been for about 4.6 billion years and will remain for about another 5 billion years. Eventually, it will expand into a red giant and then collapse into a white dwarf. But don't worry, this is an event far in the future. And now to the next question. Can we live on other planets orbiting different stars? Well, as of now, we haven't found any other planet as hospitable as Earth. However, Astronomers are continually discovering exoplanets, which are planets outside our solar system, that might have conditions suitable for life. The search involves finding planets in the habitable zone of their stars where temperatures could allow for liquid water. It's a thrilling aspect of space exploration, like looking for a new cosmic home. And now for the next question. How do solar panels utilize the sun's energy? Well, solar panels are designed to capture the sun's energy and convert it into electricity. They use photovoltaic cells to convert sunlight directly into electrical energy. This process is a clean, sustainable way to harness the sun's power, providing an eco-friendly alternative to fossil fuels. And now for the next question. What's the difference between a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse? Well, a solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the Earth and the sun, blocking the sun's light. A lunar eclipse happens when the Earth comes between the sun and the moon, and the Earth's shadow falls on the moon. Well, both are spectacular celestial events, offering us a front row seat to the cosmic dance of our solar system. And now another question. Is the sun yellow? Well, the sun actually emits light that is more white than yellow. Its light contains all colors, which we see combined as white. The yellow appearance we often perceive is due to Earth's atmosphere scattering the shorter wavelength light, like blue, leaving the longer wavelengths like yellow and red to reach our eyes. And now for the next question. Why do stars twinkle? Well, stars twinkle because of turbulence in the Earth's atmosphere. As light from the stars travels through the different layers of the atmosphere, it gets bent and scattered, causing the twinkling effect. It's like light traveling through a moving prism. And finally, what are auroras and how are they related to the sun? Well, auroras, also known as the northern and southern lights, are natural light displays in the Earth's sky, predominantly seen in high-latitude regions. They are caused by solar wind disturbing the Earth's magnetosphere, leading to the emission of light as charged particles collide with atmospheric gases. It's a beautiful cosmic show, courtesy of our interaction with the sun. Well, this wraps up our frequently asked questions segment. Up next, we have the Mythbuster segment, where we'll address some common misconceptions and myths about the sun and space. Stay tuned as we debunk these myths and shed light on the facts. Let's separate science fiction from science fact. Welcome to the Mythbuster segment of the English Plus podcast. I'm your host Danny, and today we're going to untangle some common misconceptions and myths about the sun and space. Let's embark on a journey of clarification, debunking these myths with factual information. First up is the myth that the sun is on fire. Well, unlike a campfire, the sun doesn't burn through combustion but generates energy through nuclear fusion. It's a process where hydrogen atoms fuse to form helium, releasing enormous amounts of energy. So, the sun isn't burning, it's fusing. Another common myth is that space is close to absolute zero everywhere. Now, while some regions of space are extremely cold, space near stars like the sun can be quite hot. The temperature in space varies greatly depending on your location relative to stars and other celestial bodies. Space isn't uniformly freezing. It has its hot and cold spots. And there's the popular belief that the sun is a unique star. Well, in reality, the sun is a fairly average-sized middle-aged star among billions in our galaxy. What makes it special to us is its proximity and the life it supports on Earth. The sun is special to us, but it's one among countless stars in the cosmos. And some people think that we can see the sun's flames. Well, the sun doesn't have flames in the traditional sense. What we see is the photosphere, the outermost layer of the sun, which emits light and appears bright to us. These aren't flames, but the glow of plasma at extremely high temperatures. A common misconception is that there is no gravity in space. Well, in fact, gravity exists everywhere in space. It's the force that keeps planets in orbit around the sun and governs the motion of celestial bodies. Space isn't a gravity-free zone. It's a ballet of gravitational forces. Another myth is that astronauts in orbit are in zero gravity. Well, astronauts in orbit are actually in a state of free fall, experiencing what is known as microgravity. They're falling towards Earth, but also moving forward, creating the sensation of weightlessness. It's not zero gravity, it's continuous free fall. Well, now I will share some common misconceptions that are not exactly related to the sun, but they might be a good introduction to what's coming in this series Beyond Earth. Well, let's talk about these as well to kind of pique your curiosity. Let's start with this one. There's the belief that the Great Wall of China is the only man-made structure visible from space. Well, this isn't true. Many human-made structures like cities, airports, and dams are visible from space. The Great Wall is actually less visible than many of these other structures due to its narrowness and the materials it's made from. A widespread myth is that Mars is habitable just like Earth. Well, while Mars has potential for future exploration and even habitation, it's currently not habitable in the same way as Earth. It has a thin atmosphere, extreme temperatures, and lacks liquid water on its surface. Mars isn't a second Earth, at least not yet. And there's another misconception. Some people think that people explode in space without a spacesuit. While this is indeed a dramatic idea, but it's actually false. While exposure to the vacuum of space without protection is deadly, it wouldn't cause a person to explode. The lack of atmospheric pressure would cause unconsciousness within seconds, but it's not as explosive as often depicted in movies. And lastly, the myth that all satellites are man-made. Well, not all satellites are human creations. Natural satellites, like our moon, have been orbiting planets long before humanity ventured into space. Satellites can be both man-made and natural celestial bodies. Now, with these myths busted, we have a clearer view of our sun and the cosmos. Next up in our podcast is In Real Life segment, where we'll explore some real-life examples and stories related to our topic. Stay tuned to see how these astronomical concepts play out in the real world. In our in-life segment of the English Plus podcast, let's connect the dots between the cosmic phenomena we've discussed and the everyday lives of people around the globe. I'm Danny, and I'll be guiding you through some real-world scenarios where the wonders of the sun and space become tangible. Let's start with a day in the life of Maya, a solar panel engineer in California. Every day, Maya applies her understanding of the sun's energy to design and improve solar panels. Her work directly harnesses the sun's power, converting it into clean, renewable energy for homes and businesses. She's not just an engineer, she's a modern-day alchemist, turning sunlight into electricity. Then there's Raj, an amateur astronomer in India, who passionately shares his knowledge about the stars and the universe with his community. Every weekend, he sets up his telescope in a local park, inviting passerby to gaze at the wonders of the night sky. Through Raj's telescope, people get a closer look at the sun's neighboring stars, igniting curiosity and wonder about the universe. In Norway, we meet Ingrid, a photographer specializing in capturing the northern lights. Her stunning photographs of these ethereal light displays caused by solar particles interacting with the Earth's atmosphere not only showcase the beauty of the auroras, but also illustrate the sun's far-reaching influence on our planet. Across the world, in a small village in Kenya, we find Simon, a teacher who uses the predictable rising and setting of the sun to teach his students about time, astronomy, and the importance of the sun in their daily lives. His lessons extend beyond the classroom as he encourages his students to observe and appreciate the sun's role in agriculture and weather patterns. In an urban setting, let's visit Chloe, a city planner in New York City who incorporates the sun's path into her designs. By understanding how sunlight affects urban spaces, she helps create parks and buildings that maximize natural light, enhancing the well-being and sustainability of the city. Then there's Alex, a healthcare professional in Australia who educates his patients about the health benefits of sunlight. He emphasizes the importance of safe sun exposure for vitamin D production, which is crucial for bone health and immune function. In Brazil, we meet Gabriela, an environmental activist who organizes community events for Earth Day. She uses her knowledge of the sun and the solar system to raise awareness about the importance of protecting our planet's fragile environment influenced by the sun's energy. And finally, let's not forget about you, our dear listeners. Every time you step outside and feel the warmth of the sun, remember the immense nuclear reactions happening millions of miles away, fueling life on Earth. Whether you're planting a garden, enjoying a sunny day at the park, or simply watching a sunset, you're experiencing a direct connection to the vast universe. These stories from around the world show us how the cosmic phenomena we've discussed are woven into the fabric of everyday life. So keep exploring, keep learning, and remember, the universe is closer than you think. And that brings us to the end of today's journey through the cosmos on the English Plus podcast. I'm Danny, and it's been a pleasure guiding you through the wonders of our sun and the vast universe. But remember, our exploration doesn't have to end here. The universe is a vast and endless source of wonder, and there's so much more to learn and discover. And now a special call to action for all of you. If you've enjoyed today's episode and found it enlightening, I encourage you to follow the English Plus podcast. Share it with your family and friends and help spread the joy of learning and discovery. Your support means the world to us, and it's what keeps this podcast thriving. But if you want to take your support to the next level and unlock a world of premium content, consider becoming a patron on Patreon. By joining our Patreon community, you not only support the podcast, but also gain access to exclusive premium episodes. It's a win-win. You get more content, and we get to continue bringing you the best in educational and entertaining podcast episodes. Thank you so much for tuning in, for your curiosity, and for your support. It's listeners like you who make this journey through knowledge and discovery so rewarding. So follow, share, and maybe even join us on Patreon. Together, we can continue to explore the wonders of the universe and beyond. Until next time, keep looking up and keep learning. Thank you for listening to the English Plus podcast. I'll see you next time.